Wednesday morning. Welcome back to the channel. You're watching the Kaiser Report, and I'm John here today to talk to you about just a few things. It's Wednesday. It's hump day. We're halfway through a week and on our way through the weekend, which means that we should be getting out and doing some barbecuing. It's a big travel weekend. Hopefully that you're on your way, or you will be on your way shortly to celebrate Labor Day and go launch ourselves total immersiveness into this election giggle that we have going on right now. But listen, we have a sponsor here by the name of Lazy J Farms and Butcher Shop that have some of the finest meat products, cheeses, and eggs that you've ever tasted. And if you're getting ready for a big Labor Day blowout weekend, you need to call them today or go over and visit them and get some special cut meats cut to your liking and stock up for the big Labor Day weekend. Because Lazy J Farms has blonde Aquitaine cattle, which is a wonderful, wonderful, moist and soft-eating steak that you've ever had. So go see them or call them, and they will ship anywhere in the United States that you would like to place an order. Do it before 10 today, if possible, and or tomorrow, and they'll ship it out to you, and you'll have it fresh and ready to go. Their American cheese is their own, and it's not plasticized like what you buy in the store. So if you're into hamburgers, they have already pre-made hamburgers, or you can buy it, the chopped meat by the pound, and it is the most succulent tasting hamburger you will ever have. So keep them in mind. That's Lazy J Farms and Butcher Shop, and you can find them on Facebook under Lazy J Farms, or email them directly at lazyjfarms.com, or you can call them, and you can call them at 423-398-5595. And remember, if you're cooking out for the holiday weekend, you cannot get better products, and they are priced reasonably. So when you call there or email there, tell them Kaiser sent you, and they'll be glad to cut your meat any way you want. So we've got still more trouble going on in the Middle East. That's what's taking the news cycle this morning. They had a retaliatory strike out of, I guess, Hamas, because of the killing of one of their leaders by the IDF. So it continues. The powder keg called Iran still continues. The Houthi rebels have hit a ship, and I guess it was an oil tanker that's still on fire after 3 days, and now reported leaking into the Red Sea. Not a good thing for the environment. Everybody worried about the environment. This isn't helping it. Just in case you're wondering. So they pulled the coal out of the straits up there and put it off the coast, expecting a hit from Iran, I guess. But that leaves the Houthis to just keep firing rockets. And then, of course, Kirby comes out the other day and says, well, the coal still has capability of firing its missiles into the sites, but they're not there to stop the missiles from hitting the ships full of oil and goods that have to transport through the Red Sea to get to the rest of the world. So that's a dangerous situation over there. It will affect our economy, and it will affect the economy of most of the European countries eventually. And we don't want any more oil spills into this ocean that we've already half destroyed. Most of the life and corals and everything else that has been destroyed over past spills, we don't want to keep that going. So there you go. And in this country, I guess you all heard about this idiot Jack Smith that thinks that he's a special counsel, which has never been approved by Congress for him to be a special counsel, is at it again. He's taken what got turned down by the courts and thrown out and reworded a few things on it and moved some stuff around, and then he's filing a new indictment now, right in time for the election. Tell me why these people are not brought up on charges for election interference. Now that Zuckerberg has come out and talked about how he was pushed by the White House and by politicians to not report on certain things, such as the Russian disinformation and dossier, and Hunter Biden's was covered up, and this is Facebook now trying to make amends. Zuckerberg is coming out. For whatever reason, it could have something to do with the fact that the head of Telegraph was arrested in Paris for not policing his website and culling out, I guess, the pedophiles and everything else that were in there. So is Zuckerberg getting worried because he's a world traveler? He's all over the place. Is he going to be arrested? Or if Trump gets in office, is he going to be taken to task on what Zuckerberg had done with the DNC? It's CYA. And if you don't know what that means, hit me in the comments below. I'll let you know. But they're covering it, and they're covering it well. I guess the flip-flop with Harris continues as we thought it would. She's reversing her stance that she has well publicized in one fashion, and now she's coming out with the fact that she's changed her mind on everything, including the border wall, which she now supports. And she wants to spend the money that wasn't used to complete the wall and get out the materials that weren't sold off by this administration or sent to the Ukraine. So now she is border wall ready. It's almost laughable on how these politicians lie straight-faced to us all and get away with it. How they can interfere in an election, how they can negate your votes. Look what they did to Joe Biden, and you're going to tell me that they're protecting democracy? That's a direct blow on democracy. That man received 14 million votes, and it was just cast aside, and they installed Kamala Harris. Without one vote, without anybody saying that this is what they wanted, and it got shoved down their throat. And then we all know who was behind that. It was a Pelosi, Schumer, and Obama doing. We know that now. But that is what it's going to be. The RFK business joining in with Donald Trump, and as well as Tulsi Gabbard, I believe is going to be a strengthening thread for that particular party. And we're going to hope for the best with regard to our health care, pharmaceutical companies, and not only big pharma, but the military-industrial complex as well. We need to convince the other candidate that's running, Donald J. Trump, that he needs to address these things, because this is tantamount and what's more on our minds as citizens in this country than we've ever gotten answers on before. So cleaning out the deep state is going to take a long time. And cleaning out the deep state and putting this government back onto the railroad tracks that it was on years and years ago is not going to be the accomplishment of one man or one woman. It's going to take a cabinet of people through several more elections to bring this ship around and head it into the wind. It's like a naval aviator. You have to have 30 knots across the desk, and the ship has to be headed into the wind before you can take that airplane off the deck. So we need, and on this election, to turn the ship into the wind and get things to happen. Launch new procedures and launch new laws that will protect the citizens of this United States of America. Stop giving people that crash through the border illegally benefits and everything that go along with it. It's not a thing that should have been done. We know they're here. We know that there's going to be things handed to them, and we know that there may be a good possibility that we're going to hear from some of these cells that have been set up by terrorists that have garnered entry into this country illegally, and they are now forming in cells here and there to do the damage. And then we have the Venezuelan nutcases out of the insane asylums and their prisons that are out doing what they do best: crime, stealing, raping, carjacking, you name it. These people did this in their own country and they've brought it here. So that has to be dealt with state by state, with the state authorities in unison with the government officials, to get this coming to a stop. The other news we talked about ad nauseum yesterday is the investigation on the attempted assassination that took place on one of the candidates, and we all know who I'm talking about. Still no forward motion on us learning anything about what truly happened there in Butler, Pennsylvania. But I have hopes that the congressional people that were there on site will bring back to the other investigators their opinions, and maybe we'll hear something before too long. Was there multiple shooters? Was there a conspiracy to kill Donald Trump? These are questions that need to be answered, and they need to be answered now. And using lawfare to try to diminish his forward motion in this election process is pure and evil election interference, and it needs to be stopped. This guy, Jack Smith, is I don't know what drives him other than insecurity and ugliness and hate. He has not been approved by this Congress to be a special investigator. So why is he now making new indictments? Because he didn't like the judge's ruling that hit him the last time. And he's still not a special investigator to the best of my knowledge. Well, we'll see where that goes. But we're looking forward to a weekend, a Labor Day weekend, that will be, I guess, a high travel day or weekend around the nation. And I wish you all a happy and safe Labor Day weekend coming. We'll be here on Thursday and Friday to talk to you as normal with the Kaiser Report. And this weekend, we'll be out and about with the camera, and we'll get some film somewhere of people having a good time and enjoying the God-given beauty that we have in this land. Which reminds me to tell you, pray for this country. Pray often, because we're going to need some help. So with that, I'm going to let you go on Wednesday, the hump day, and get prepared. Get over to Lazy J Farms and Butcher Shop. Get yourself some beautiful pork products, beef products, chicken products. They have it all. And it's wonderful, all locally farmed and raised right here in Kingsport, Tennessee. So with that, I'm going to say bye-bye now and have a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. And please keep us in mind for a subscription. Bye now.